have all of the orchestra members joining us tonight. Welcome.
All right, so after some technical difficulties, we are here at McKee Field at Hayden Park in Oxford, Ohio. We are through the first inning completely. Xavier getting 2 runs off 3 hits in the top of the first, and then Nick's walk for Xavier, the pitcher on the mound today, going 3 up, 3 down, getting Kyle Winkler to fly out into center. Colin Shepard pop up to short, and Landon Stevens again flying out to center field. And Alex Stobert has been on the mound, and Chris Vinel, Bennett Wise, and Brady Pfister here on the call. So, Chris, you mentioned something about Alex Stobert in his performance so far today.
Yeah, so Stobert didn't have the same type of success that Zwock had in the first inning. He came out and he gave up the hits to the first 2 batters. One came around to score. Actually, both came around to score on the 3rd hit of the inning. So that's where Miami currently finds itself down 2-0 in the top of the second.
So up for the Musketeers, that is Luke Franzoni. He took a first pitch too far inside for ball 1. Defensively for Miami, Charlie Harrigan out in right, Parker Massman in center, Kyle Winkler in left. As Franzoni takes a fastball from Alex Stobert for a called strike. Reed Norberg at first, Landon Stevens at second, Colin Shepard at short, and Jordan Stevens at third. Stobert delivers the 1-1, swing and a miss there by Franzoni. Count now at 1-2. Nate Stoles behind the plate, catching for Alex Stobert. Only not a starting role. Weather here in Oxford, 70 degrees. Wind going from the west-northwest at about 15 miles an hour. 4th pitch of the at-bat is a breaking ball that drops outside of the zone. 2-2 is the count now. Franzoni hitting .287 on the year. As Stobert delivers the 2-2, this is a chopper over to short. Infield shifting over way left. Colin Shepard unable to make a grab, going barehanded as an infield single now for Luke Franzoni.
Yeah, and that's not Shepard's natural position. He's naturally a second baseman, but injuries have forced the Redhawks to kind of go with a different defensive alignment tonight. We've got Landon Stevens at second base. He's typically at third, with Jordan Stevens, who's typically at second at third. Then at center field, we have Parker Massman. Christian Tejada is the regular out there. He's out with an injury. Will Vogelsang, typically the shortstop, is out with an injury. And Alex Stobert on the mound. He's typically a middle reliever, but is pushed into starting duty tonight because of injuries to the pitching staff.
Vitaly Manastra at the plate, and he fouls his first pitch off behind the Xavier dugout. Manastra hitting .233 on the years for the Musketeers in the 8-hole spot today. So Franzoni on first. He's now in a 0-1 count against Alex Stobert. Stobert gets the sign. Sets and throws to Manastra. He swings and misses at this pitch. That was a changeup on the outer half of the plate at 86 miles an hour. Count now 0-2. Miami currently with a record of 30-9, 11-4 in the Mid-American Conference. They are first as they face the first place Xavier University Musketeers. They actually have a record at 7-1 as Stobert strikes out Vitaly Manastra for the first out of the second inning.
The third baseman.
Now up Cody Darcy for the Musketeers. A 9-hole later. Xavier coming into today with a record of 16-23. And as mentioned prior, sit at the top of the Big East standings at 7-1 in conference play. Stobert sets and delivers the first pitch of the at-bat. That's inside for ball 1. Now the 1-0 from Stobert, a big swing and a miss by Darcy. That puts the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
String on him there, boys. 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
The one thing I do like about Stobert and what he's done so far in this ball game is he's going right after the hitters. He's not nibbling around the corners. He's going right in the strike zone and really trying to make the hitters hit the ball and put it in play, hoping his defense can make the play.
The issue is he doesn't have very good stuff. That has been problematic thus far.
And now the 1-1. Darcy hits this one into shallow right field. That'll drop.
Exhibit A.
for a base knock. So Luke Franzoni will head to second, and Cody Darcy will be safe at first. So 2 runners on, 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Xavier still leading at 2-0.
It's a big inning for Stover. I think after the way the first inning went, obviously we were there. Big confidence boost for Stover if he can get out of this inning unscathed. Double play here would be just what the doctor ordered.
And I don't think Danny Hayden, the Red Hawks manager, is asking him to go 7 or 8 in this ball game. He's pretty much asking, let's get through 3 or 4 and then go by a bullpen committee the rest of the way. So if Stobert can get out of this inning and get through 1 more, I think Hayden would be just pleased.
Well, especially with the way the Red Hawks are swinging the bat this year again. Team batting average of 309. Going up against Zwark, who is, not exactly having himself a stellar season either. Pitching a 6.81 ERA right now. You'd like to think the Red Hawks will be able to put up a 2 runs.
So back to the top of the order, Connor Gramus at the plate. He took a first pitch for a strike and actually doubled into right center in his first at-bat as Stober delivers the 0-1 for a ball that's a little bit too far off the right side of the plate. Gramus hitting .314 on the year for the Musketeers, 6 home runs, 20 RBIs. Currently in the designated hitting spot in the leadoff position. So sets and throws as Gramus fouls this one down the right field line. Just past the Xavier bullpen, rather.
I guess this makes sense to us more. Yeah, I was going to say this is more.
That puts the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 out, top of the second inning. Xavier leading at 2-0. Stover waits on the mound, gets his sign. Sets and throws. A check swing as Gramus pulls it back. Saw that one go too far inside. Now count at 2-2.
I like the thought there from Stober going in and inside and a little low with the breaking ball. It's a chase pitch right there, and now he's still got another 2 to work with.
So again, count at 2-2. Luke Franzoni on second. Cody Darcy at first. And this one is hit. Just barely making a leaping grab, Landon Stevens, and a quick throw over to second for a double play. And that will do it for the top of the second inning. A great defensive effort, catching Luke Franzoni off guard as Landon Stevens gets an unassisted double play.
That's kind of a boneheaded play by Franzoni. He didn't move when that ball was hit, just staying where he was when he ended his secondary lead. He was halfway in between second and third. And didn't move on the little pop fly at second base.
But if you're the Red Hawks, you take that. Absolutely. For Stobert, that's big. That's a big confidence boost. It's a soft liner, obviously. Musketeers are getting good swings on his pitches to come out of the top of the second with no runs. I think it's a big deal, especially if you get to the meat of the Red Hawks bottom of the second inning.
Stobert is now to 37 pitches. Not ideal for 2, but it's also not terrible. I mean, you can work with that, especially if you're only asking him to go 3, 4, 5 innings.
Sure.
So Nick Zwak back on the mound. Again, his stats on the season, a 2-2 record, this being his 7th start, holding opponents to a .314 batting average, 35 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 44 hits, 29 runs, 27 of those earned, 20 walks, and 31 strikeouts for a 6.81 ERA. Leading it off for Miami here in the bottom of the second inning, it'll be Jordan Stevens in the 4th spot, hitting .327 on the year for Miami.
First at bat for the Red Hawks in the bottom of the second inning is the third baseman, number 6, Jordan Stevens.
Stevens, the redshirt junior from Parker, Colorado. Again, as Chris mentioned, at third today, normally playing second, but Coach Danny Hayden having a little bit of a lineup change as injuries have plagued this roster. As Zwak sets and throws the first pitch, Steven goes hacking. That goes into the protected netting just to the left of the Xavier dugout.
And if you're Alex Stober, you're in the dugout right now praying for some runs. Like Brady said, that double play gets some confidence up. He held the Musketeers scoreless in the top of the second. Now he just needs some run support.
Now the 0-1 from Zwak. That's outside for the first ball of the at-bat. Cal Elvers, the designated hitter, on deck for Miami. Stevens takes a second and steps back into the box. Zwak sets and throws. Stevens takes another swing at this. That's fouled off behind home plate.
Not a good pitch to hit right there. That was up and away. Not only that, Stevens was late on that. Center winner fouled him straight back.
Count now at 1-2. Defensively, Shepsky out in right for Xavier. Franzoni in center. Aubrey Major out in left as Zwak delivers the 1-2. That's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Workington at first. Hausinger at second. Given at short. Cody Darcy at third. Natalie Monastra behind the plate, and Zwak on the mound. Now again in a 2-2 count. Zwak sets and throws. Stevens watches this one go past for a ball. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Umpires for today: Mike Martin behind home, Joseph Kimbrough at first, and Scott Wyckoff at third. And now the payoff pitch. Stevens swings and misses, and a strikeout for Zwak. He has retired the first 4 batters in this Miami lineup.
It's not really a pitch you want to strike out on that for Jordan Stevens. Zwak just gave him a fastball in the outer third of the plate, and he swung right through it.
Cal Elvers, the righty, now up to the plate. Ranked 6th in the Mid-American Conference, hitting .362 for Miami. Making his first plate appearance on the day. First pitch high and away for ball 1.
You want to talk about a guy who's been hot. Cal Elvers has been hot in the last 2 series. 2 series ago, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, he hit a home run in all 3 games. He was only retired 3 times during the course of the series.
And now the 0-1-0 from Zwak, fouled off again by Elvers behind home plate. Xavier still leading it 2-0. Miami yet to get a hit in this ball game. Xavier has 5 hits. Astor going to ask for a new ball from the home plate umpire. One ball and 1 strike here to Cal Elvers. No runners on for Miami. Zwak sets and throws. Elvers taps this one foul.
Caught him out in front of that one. 81 mile an hour breaking ball. He was expecting a fastball.
He's got to be ready for the kitchen sink here at 1-2. Zwak has a couple of pitches to mess around with, and if I'm him, I'm taking it. I'm not giving Cal anything to hit on this next pitch.
Zwak gets the sign, sets, throws. Elvers pops this one up. Yelling down, tailing to the right, down the first base line. First baseman going into shallow right center field, foul territory to make the out. Now up Reed Norberg, first baseman, hitting .311 for Miami. 1 home run, 13 RBIs for Norberg. Norberg, a redshirt freshman, hailing from San Diego, California. As Zwak's first pitch is a check swing, and the call over to the first base umpire, Joseph Kimbrough, said he went, so that's the first strike of the at-bat.
Coach Hayden can't be happy at the hacks that these guys are taking. That was a pitch from, essentially from the time it left Zwak's hand. You knew it was going to be low out of the strike zone, but nevertheless, Norberg takes a hack.
Now the 0-1, Norberg checks his swing again. Another check on over to first. Kimbrough said not this time. So now 1 ball and 1 strike against Reed Norberg.
He's got that breaking ball working, whether he's getting guys out in front, getting check swings. Red hot hitters appear to be confused by the breaking ball of Zwak.
He's going up for us.
You guys good though?
Yeah, we're good.
And now the 1-1 from Zwak. That's low and inside for ball 2. Count now at 2-1. 2 outs, bottom of the second. Norberg takes a swing at this. This is a hot shot to third. Throw over to first. A scooping grab by Workington at first for the third out of the inning. Great throw there by Cody Darcy. So that will do it for the bottom of the second. No hits, no runs, no errors. As Xavier University Musketeers still lead it 2-0 after 2.
For Miami at the bottom of the second inning, no runs, no hits.
Back in Oxford for the top of the third inning, Alex Stobert still on the mound for Miami. He's gone 2 full innings, 37 total pitches, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, and 1 strikeout and 10 batters faced. And, not a guy normally in a starting role for Miami, but getting some valuable time here.
And I think he's done an all right job so far. He's really starting to calm himself down, it looks like. And by this third inning of work, like we said before, he doesn't typically go this long, so he should be settled in there now. At this point, it's really just how long Danny Hayden wants to let him roll.
Stobert's guys had a rough back end of the season so far. First 5 appearances, not one. Past 6 appearances up until May 13. That's now up to 15 in the past 7 appearances, particularly mostly out of the bullpen for Stobert.
Stobert's first pitch to Jake Shepsky is in the zone for a called strike. That was a tailing 2-seam fastball that caught the inside corner. Shepsky hitting .292 for the Musketeers as Stobert delivers the second pitch. That's low and in the dirt for ball 1. And the wind's starting to pick up as Shepsky rips this one into shallow center field, and that will drop Parker Massman, unable to make the grab coming in from center. And Shepsky will retreat to first for a base hit.
Yeah, that was just hit into no man's land out there in left center field. And Schobert, you really can't be mad about that one because he didn't really get hard contact. He just kind of fell out there in a bad spot. So on to the next hitter for him.
That's the type of day that Stobert's having today.
Now up Aubrey Major for the Musketeers. He flew out to center in his first at-bat. Jake Shepsky on first for Xavier. Stobert gets the sign. Stetson throws the first. Shepsky will retreat back to the third base bag, and just like that, 2 runners in scoring position in the first 2 at-bats here in the top of the third inning.
That's the hardest hit ball we've seen all night. Major absolutely squared that one up on the barrel and just deposited it in the left center or right center field on a line.
Massman got on his horse to the right center field gap. I thought off the bat that ball was going to go to the gap. Massman made a heck of a play to cut that ball off. Probably saving runs, but thus there's second and third, no outs here at the top of the third.
Now up, number 7, Matt Warkington, the first baseman. Flew out to center in his first at-bat. And the righty gets settled in the box, and Stobert kicks and deals. That pitch is low and in the dirt, ball 1. Aubrey Major on second, Jake Shepsky on third. No outs, top of the third. And this one is a ripper down the third base line. And both runners will come around to score. Workington goes to second safely, standing up, trots into the bag. Xavier now leading it 4-0 off 8 hits. Alex Stobert getting his work cut out for him.
And that gets some bodies moving up there in the third base bullpen of the Miami Redhawks.
It's like John firing down there, stretching out. Let you know as soon as we do.
No outs, 4-0 game, runner on second. My guess is he might have to get a pep in his step to warm up.
I'm not giving them the signal to ramp it up a little bit down there. There's a couple of Redhawks looking towards that bullpen.
Absolutely.
Shortstop Chris Given up to the plate now. The right-hander's hitting .289 on the season. And the first pitch, he lays down a bunt. That goes foul right near the on-deck circle of Xavier. And Stobert coming into today, 19 innings pitched, giving up 20 hits, 16 runs, 14 of those earned, 13 walks, 25 strikeouts for a 6.63 ERA. Now in an 0-1 count against Chris Given. Stobert gets the sign, checks on the runner at second, and throws. Back with a changeup at 84 miles an hour for a strike. Now the count is at 0-2. The 0-2 count. Stobert staring down the catcher, Stoles, to get the sign. Stobert sets up, kicks, deals the 0-2. Check swing pulled back as that one sails too high for ball one.
Decent sized crowd out here today, men. Beautiful day here in Oxford, Ohio, including Bam Bowman, power forward for the Miami Redhawk basketball team, taking on his fellow student athletes.
And this one is a hit. A line drive into left center field. Given's going to round first, go to second. He will be safe, and that'll be an RBI as Matt Larkington comes around to score from second. So right now 10 hits rather for Xavier, and 5 of those coming around to score.
Workington actually stumbled around third base. The Redhawks might have had a chance if that throw from center field would have gone home. Instead it went to second base. He went in standing up.
Workington did not get a huge jump off of second base either. He hesitated to make sure the ball fell. It indeed did, and like Chris said, he stumbled around third. Could have been an opportunity for an outfield assist.
Now the second baseman, Hausinger, lays down a bunt perfectly down the third base line. Stobert barehands it, throw into first, not in time. Missed it by just about a foot. And so Hausinger with a sacrifice bunt. That advances Chris Given to third base. And now runners on the corners for Xavier, still no outs, top of the third.
I know Stobert's going to be disappointed with the result, and that was an infield hit. However, he made a nice play coming off the mound. It was to the side he doesn't fall away from. He usually falls towards the first base side as a right-handed pitcher. That one was towards the third base side of the infield. He came off barehanded, that chopper, and threw on to first base just late.
Now up Luke Franzoni. He singled in his first at-bat. Swings and misses on the first pitch.
Fooled him on a breaking ball there, boys. Now this is where Stobert has to dig deep, have a little bit of mental toughness. It's a 5-0 game. He's given up 10 hits, no outs here. Top of the third, he can really help his team out and make sure this one doesn't get too far away by digging in here and hopefully getting a double play.
Stobert likes the sign and deals. That was a changeup that's too far outside. Puts the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Brady, as you said, I think the Redhawks traded a run for a double play here. We put nobody on base, and with the Redhawks, ramping up the action in the bullpen, Stobert will just have to get one more out to get through the inning.
Franzoni chops this one foul as it rolls to the Xavier dugout along the first base line.
He would no doubt take a strikeout as well.
Count now at 1-2. Jack Hausinger on first, Chris Given on third. Still no outs, top of the third inning. Xavier leading it 5-0. As Stobert gets the sign, delivers the 1-2. Big swing and a miss, and that's the second strikeout on the day for Alex Stobert. As Franzoni will go back to the dugout, and Natalie Monastro will come up to the plate for Xavier.
It's a big out for Stobert. Now double play puts the inning away and probably ends his day for all intents and purposes.
Monastro struck out in his first at-bat in the top of the second. Came into today hitting .233 for the Musketeers. As Stobert gets the sign, sets, throws. Monastro shows bunt. This goes right down the first base line as Reed Norberg tags him out for the first out of the inning, but Xavier will score another run. Chris Gibbon will come around to score from third.
Billy O'Connor, coach of the Musketeers, playing a little bit of small ball here in the top of the third. That's 2 bunts. Both have been successful. One was an infield hit. That one gets an RBI. Again, a little bit of small ball baseball here by the Xavier Musketeers. They up 6-0.
In my opinion, that's genius. I mean, he, like Brady said, a double play ends the inning. He instead trades an out for a run, gets that extra run across, and still has a runner in scoring position now at second base.
To be able to get that kind of production out of your 8 hitters is exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want.
Cody Darcy swings and misses at the first pitch. Hausinger advances to second. Now in the 0-1, Stover gets the sign from Stoles. Checks on the runner at second and throws. That's a breaking ball that drops too low, puts the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Darcy singled in his first at-bat, and that was a liner into right center field. Stover working through his pitches. Sets on the bump and delivers the 1-1. This is a shot right to short. Shepard's fielding it, throw it into first in time for the third out of the inning. 4 runs for Xavier here in the top of the third, 5 hits. And what was an inning of damage against Alex Stover.
We talked about the struggles of Alex Stover in this game. Swap, the starter for Xavier, not typically a starter. He's come up and already given Musketeers some solid innings. We've got a 6-9 lead at the bottom of the 3 here.
A relief pitcher getting the start. He has looked comfortable. He has looked in control of his pitches. On the other side, Miami Redhawks hitters have looked confused as they appear to be struggling to knock off the rust after taking a series loss last weekend in Muncie, Indiana against the Ball State Cardinals.
It was the first series loss for the Redhawks this year, only the second one in the last 2 years. So, I mean, that's a big thing when it happens. The Redhawks just weren't able to get it done. Rain played a factor. They had a couple of games pushed back, played a doubleheader on Easter Sunday. And they fell behind in the series 2-0 before finally avoiding the sweep with that last game win in the series finale.
Still, the Redhawks find themselves atop the MAC as they head into the back end of April and into May. Here is the 2019 regular season approaches its end.
Absolutely, it's crazy. A month from today, the MAC tournament will already be in play.
That MAC race right now also pretty tight. Ball State, who maybe dropped 2 games to just trailing 2 games behind them in MAC standings.
2 big games for Ball State. 2 big games for Ball State indeed to climb up those standings.
Now lefty Charlie Harrigan playing right field. Up to the plate, swings and
Yes, it was going for Old Glory out there, past 400 in center field.
now the 0-1. This one is deep tailing into left field. That goes foul. Goes off the J. Hayden Baseball Center and into the Miami bullpen. Count now at 0-2. Xavier leading at 6-0. Getting 4 runs in the top of the third, 2 in the top of the first. And now the 0-2 from Swak. That's low and away for ball 1. Harrigan came into the day hitting .259, 1 home run, 27 RBIs. That leads at second on the team, rather. Block sets, delivers the 1-2. Harrigan hesitates as that one goes just outside and evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We don't often see Harrigan out in right field like he is today. He's typically a first baseman, but lately Reed Norberg has been rotating with that spot. With the typical right fielder moving to center. Parker Massman is for Christian Tejada. Harrigan's out there in right field.
Harrigan staying alive, fouling this one directly behind home plate. Count still remains at 2-2, no outs. As Harrigan is the first batter here in the top of the third. Bottom of the third, excuse me. Clock sets and throws, swing and a miss. The second strikeout today for the pitcher Nick Swak, as Miami still has yet to find an answer, and the catcher Nate Stoles will now come to the plate for Miami.
What's interesting about this game so far is Walk is not overpowering the hitters. He's not striking a bunch of guys out, but like both of you have said before, Red Hawk hitters just look confused. There's a lot of check swings going on, a lot of hesitation, especially on that breaking ball. So Walk's fooling him at the moment.
And the first pitch to Nate Stoles is outside for ball 1. Spock sets, kicks, throws. Comes back with the fastball against the left side of the plate for a strike. Count now at 1-1. One out, bottom of the third. Xavier leading at 6-0. And the pitch from Zwak. Stoles checks his swing. Umpire said he went.
Another check swing.
Zwak just nibbling on that outside corner. Saying, come and hit it if you can.
So far, the answer has been an emphatic no for the Red
Emphatic
Hawks.
no, as the Red Hawks don't have a hit yet. They don't have a base runner. Stoles will become the first one.
And the 1-2 is fouled off. That tails to the right. Into the concourse along right field.
If I'm Stoles, I keep doing that, and I make him throw me something good to hit and try to draw a walk.
Count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Block. Kicks, throws. Stoles hits this one, a line drive into left field. But coming over, Aubrey Major makes the grab for the second out of the inning.
That was the first solid hit ball by the Red Hawks all day. Took 8 hitters.
But it was full for Stoles as he hit that one. I'm sure he was like, all right, here we go. Here's some momentum. And then it hung up just near a little bit too long. Aubrey Major able to come over into the gap and make a play on that one.
Now up in the 9-hole spot, Parker Massman getting the start in center field for the Red Hawks. Came into the day hitting .211. 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Has also walked 17 times. First pitch is inside at the feet in the right-handed batter's box.
Is there any chance we see Stober next inning, boys?
I'm going to predict no, but I'm not Danny Ayton. I don't know what's going through his mind at the moment.
Block comes back, fastball in the zone. He gets the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Interesting argument. Stober could be if it's a 6-0 game. Burn more arms. To fight for a game that, to a pessimistic fan, might appear over. Naysayers, on the other hand, would say, I haven't hit the ball well. I've only been through the lineup once. Swak, traditionally, not a power pitcher. We'll see.
We saw in the final of the Nuxall Classic last year, Miami down most of that game, came back, hit a walk-off hit by Hayden Sanger that clinched them the Nuxall Classic last year. And Zwak delivers the 2-1. This one a grounder to second base. Hausinger throws it on over to first for the third out of the inning. So Miami still yet to get a hit in this ball game. And Xavier leads it 6-0 heading to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio.
Nice job.
Back at McKee Field at Hayden Park, Alex Stober day is done. He went through 56 pitches, gave up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, and only 2 strikeouts. And Nick Urbanski on the mound for Miami now.
Once again, the designated hitter for Xavier, Connor Kravis.
Urbanski coming into today, a 1.14 ERA. This being his 11th appearance, 23 2/3 innings pitched, only giving up 3 earned runs, 12 walks, and 15 strikeouts, holding opponents to a .226 batting average. That is the best ERA on the team as Urbanski, the lefty, fires his first pitch. This is a grounder to Jordan Stevens at third, and the throw over to first in time for the first out of the inning.
One pitch, one down.
That ball had some serious movement. That ran in on the hands of the right-handed hitter.
Right fielder, Jake Shepsky.
That brings up Jake Shepsky, the right fielder. First pitch from Urbanski is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That's to a far outside for ball one. Second pitch, Shepsky gets all of this one into left center field. That'll drop for a base hit. So the graduate, Jake Shepsky from Homer Glen, Illinois, gets his third hit on the day. He's 3 for 3. And a duck on the pond as Aubrey Major comes to the plate for Xavier.
You know, in thinking about it, I'm kind of surprised Urbanski didn't start this game. He's a guy who started this season before and has the lowest earned run average of any guy on the team with more than 10 appearances.
First pitch to Major, gets the inside corner. That was a breaking ball. 4 strike one.
That was like a cutter on Wii Sports, man. That ran right in on his hands. And I'll tell you what, I would not like to be Aubrey Major right now trying to hit that. Absolutely.
Major, this one a golf swing, heading down the first baseline, and an over-the-shoulder grab by Reed Norberg. Fending off the sun, gets the second out of the inning in foul territory.
You know, he'll tell you he made a great play on that, but he made it a lot harder than it needed to be as he stumbled on his first or second step going back. Had to recover and really stretch out that arm to make the over-shoulder grab.
Big time softball.
You know what? He needed Bennett wise in softball glove. Bennett could have caught that ball standing on first base.
So yeah, man, that thing covers the entire sun.
Bennett Wise is the best center fielder in intramural softball, but it's not because he's talented or he's fast.
Well, he has some talent and some speed.
He's got a little bit.
Let's give credit where credit is due.
Okay, I'll give credit where credit is due. However, his glove is the size. I tell you what, when he opens it up, it covers the sun.
Oh, yeah.
No exaggeration.
I love to range out in center field.
No sunglasses necessary, my friend.
No sunglasses necessary.
No sunglasses necessary either for the batter, Matt Kent as he hits this one up the middle into center. Shepsky going to third as Kenton is going to be safe at first. Now thrown over to third, not in time. Oh, it is in time. A delayed call, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Good heads-up play by Colin Shepard to make the throw on over to third and catch Shepsky by surprise. So that does it for the top of the fourth inning.
Shepsky's got some explaining to do. He's trying to explain games when he caught it. Why he was out on that play. It looks like he tried to go for the swim ball with his right arm to avoid the tag. He wasn't able to do it because he wasn't able to get back on the base in time.
We now go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Top of the order as Miami still has yet to get a hit in this ball game. Kyle Winkler to lead things off.
Walk taking the mound again. No, actually, it's next one. Sam Kazabla.
He's gone He has a 2.55 ERA, 3-1 in his decisions. This being his 14th appearance, 24 2/3 innings pitched, 14 hits, 7 earned runs, 6 walks, and 18 strikeouts. Holding batters to a team best opponent batting average of 165.
Starters by committee. Really going in their bullpen early and often. Boys, I think we're going to rack up some pitchers.
Sorry. Oh my God, what is going on with this sport?
So again, number 18, Sam Zabala on the mound.
Yeah, why are you over there? Yeah, how is it?
And now Kyle Winkler to the plate. He flew out to center in his first at-bat. Came into the day in 3:18 for the Red Hawks. Ranks 9th for the Mid-American Conference with a 53 batting, or rather base percentage. Now Zabala throws his first pitch. That was an 80-mile-an-hour fastball. And hits the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah.
Kyle's second time through the lineup for the Red Hawks. Let's see if the bats can do a little bit more than they were the first time. Failing to get even a single base
Oh, no, I
run.
was talking to him.
Zabala's second pitch. Too far outside. Puts the count at 2 balls in, no strikes.
Brady, that might have been the thought process from O'Connor. You have a guy who's typically a reliever, doesn't see guys twice in one game.
And this one is a deep shot out into center field. This is going to hit up against the wall. Kyle Winkler charging to second. He will stop his tracks there as the first hit on the day for Miami is a Kyle Winkler double.
That ball was tattooed. It was straight to the left center field gap. Got all of that one. All the way coming back.
That's what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do, right? We're just a couple innings late.
Absolutely. Well, the way the Red Hawks have been swinging the bat. They got 6 more innings to put some runs on the board. I know Zabala's been throwing the ball well. You know, maybe a change of scenery is what we need to keep these boys up. Time will tell.
A similar start on Sunday against the Ball State Cardinals. Danny Hayden was not happy with his team's offensive output in the early going. However, they turned it on and took that game, as we mentioned earlier.
Now up the lefty Colin Shepard, who takes the first pitch from Zabala for a called strike. Shepard hitting .294 coming into today. No home runs, 11 RBIs. Zabala, the lefty, sets on the mound. Kicks and deals. It's too far outside.
Winkler out there at second base is one of the fastest guys on Miami's team. 12 for 12 in stolen bases on the year, so a single that gets into the outfield probably scores him from second base and gives the Red Hawks their first run of the ballgame.
Now 1-1 count here against Colin Shepard. Zabala throws. That is a fastball, 88 miles an hour, right down the middle. Count now at 1-2.
I won $3 in the last 3 holes.
Kyle Winkler on second. Landon Stevens on deck for the Red Hawks.
With me, Tommy, Trent, and Peyton. They all played
Miami
straight
just
up.
1 hit today so far. And a Mac leading 309 batting average as this one is hit, throw to third, and easy tag out. Here going Kyle Winkler as Colin Shepard will go to first safely. So at one out
You know why Tommy did?
here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Landon Stevens still playing for Miami.
Interesting choice by Hayden
Would
there
have been 15
send Winkler on contact that
from
ball.
150 out. Just puts it in, and then the back comes. I'm like, yes, please.
I talked about the benefits of Winkler's speed out there, potentially scoring on a base hit. However, there we see the downside. Could just get a little bold.
Steven takes a hack at the first pitch. That goes deep into the parking lot along the first baseline. Chris, you didn't really want to park your car over there when we came to the ballpark.
I was not about to park my car over there. We're in a garage, so we should go to
Good thing he's got a convertible.
Ball now with the 0-1, throws a nasty breaking ball. String was pulled perfectly as Steven swings and misses. Count now at no balls and 2 strikes. Colin Shepard on first.
Red Hawks as a unit have collectively struggled with the inside breaking ball. They get these boys a tennis racket and try to hit that.
Ball now with the 0-2. Stevens hits this one in between short and third, so that'll be a base knock. Shepard will advance to second as Landon Stevens comes away with the second hit on the day for Miami.
Now, if you're the Red Hawks, you're a little bit disappointed that easily scores Winkler. he was still out there on base. However, with the controversial call at third base on the play before, no runs are scored, and the Red Hawks have runners on first and second with it.
Now Jordan Stevens, the third baseman, to the plate. Struck out in his first at-bat in the bottom of the second, first time facing Zavala today. Ball will check on the runner at second before throwing homeward, as that fastball was a little bit too far outside for ball one. Zavala checks both runners again before dealing. This one is a hard chopper.
That is exactly what they didn't need.
A double play. Given steps on the bag at second before throwing to Warkentin at first for the third out of the inning. Maybe able to get 3 hits here in this inning. However, not able to capitalize as they still trail.
That's awesome.
6-0 heading to the top of the 5th. You're listening to Miami Baseball on Red Hawk Radio. Back for the top of the 5th inning. My play-by-play duties are done. Brady Pfister going to take over for the middle innings as Xavier still has a 6-0 lead, and leading it off is Chris Given for the Musketeers.
Thanks, Bennett. Banke delivers breaking ball. Strike one. He got Given up. Given's 2 for 2 on the day. Given also has etched his way into history book in Norwood, Ohio, as Banke delivers, and this ball is skied into center field. Massman's under it and 1 away. Here comes Hausinger. Hausinger's 1 for 2 on the day. Banke gets an easy out.
Jack Hausinger.
Lyons delivers fastball high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes here on Hausinger. Hausinger coming into today batting .264, 121 at-bats in 2019 for the Musketeers. The pitch got him on the elbow. He will take a base. 1 out. Hausinger makes his way to first base, bringing up Franzoni.
Bennett, you ever get hit by a pitcher playing softball?
Softball, that just counts as a ball. I've been hit on the back. I've had one land on my toe.
You get a little ice afterwards?
No.
Oh, you tough it out.
Yeah, tough it out.
Oh,
Come on
It's
now.
called softball.
Come on
for-
now.
No.
We are
love
dealing
a good
with
softball.
Bennett Wise as Franzoni digs in here to take the pitch from Banke. 87 mile an hour on the outside corner of the plate. That gets over for a strike.
Oh, okay. Should we go with this one? Yeah, this one.
Franzoni batting .293 on the year. 6 home runs, 22 RBIs. Xavier team that has hit for some serious power. 36 home runs they have collected on the year. That is good for most in the Big East. A team that has been true road warriors. Played majority of their games on the road against non-conference foes. As runner is thrown out trying to steal second base. That would be
It was Hausinger.
Hausinger. Thrown out by Stoles as Banke now set to deliver his 12th pitch on the day. Up a ball and 2 strikes, and that is going to be fouled off straight back. We'll do it again, 1-2 here on Franzoni.
Franzoni fouled that one off, and it looked like it hit the shoe of the catcher Nate Stoles and went to the backstop.
We'll do it again here, 1-2 for Banke. The pitch. Fastball, heating up to 91 miles an hour. That'll miss low and away. Count evens at 2.
It's the fastest pitch we've seen tonight. All pitchers so far have been touching, the high 80s. Banke working in the low 90s there.
That ball is a high chopper, foul into the Miami Red Hawk.
Hot soup, Bennett.
Hot soup. Hot soup. Golganets coining that phrase.
Bennett, what's that mean?
Could not tell you, and I don't think anybody else
You know what?
on the Miami roster could.
No, that's exactly correct. No one except Colganets knows what it means, and he won't tell anyone.
As Banke struggles to get that one up. We go to a full count here. Franzoni digging in. 2 out, 6-0 Xavier here in the top of the 5th inning. It has been a one-sided affair. The pitch. Foul. The Red Hawk dugout again.
Hot soup,
We'll
round
be
2.
honest, there you go, round 2.
Hot soup. We're definitely going to need an explanation one day from him.
You know what? We should make that a thing. This weekend we'll be back on the air, Red Hawk Radio, and I think we should get him up here after a game or something to explain. We'll do some investigative.
High, heat 90 mile an hour. Fastball gets Franzoni. That'll do it. 3 up, 1 hit batter, thrown out trying to steal a base. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning as the Musketeers 6, Red Hawks nothing.
Aside from that one pitch, Banke had a very good inning. So I think the Red Hawks, all they need to do to stay in this is just keep everything the same. I think what they need to do is they can't forget about the baseball they've been playing so far this season. We've seen them come back with big-time deficits, but you just have to focus on the big 3. You've got to focus on your hitting, you've got to focus on your pitching, you've got to focus on your fielding. All 3, keep it the same. Don't change anything. Don't freak out.
Absolutely.
And take every play. Don't take a play off. Just keep it one at a time.
As the best in the business say, everything's the same, and in life, fundamentals is the same. From baseball to football, you think about the greatest football dynasty of all time, the Green Bay Packers.
You know what they did?
Coached by, I do know what they do, Chris, and I'll take it from here. It is the power sweep by Vince Lombardi. Power sweep right, power sweep left, and it worked. And I think for the Red Hawks, it's the same thing. They're not running the power sweep, but everything's the same. It's the fundamentals. It's the pitching, it's the hitting, it's the fielding. The big 3, if they can do that, 6 runs is nothing. 6 runs is nothing. But again,
6 runs. We're looking at double digits if they do that.
Yeah. Let's hope so. We got Zabala back on the plate, or on the mound, rather. Cal Elvers, 0 for 1 on the day. Elvers, 358 on the season. Digging in here, trying to get something rolling. The pitch. Fastball on the outside. Misses for a ball. Elvers on the year, 106 at-bats, 38 hits, 26 RBIs. As that ball, again, misses for a ball. It goes to 2-0.
I talked about Cal's power, the power that he's shown over the last couple of series earlier in the ballgame, but he's also been a free swinger, 32 strikeouts in his 106 at-bats.
That ball is grounded to Darcy. Darcy throws on to Warkentin. That'll do 1 out on the inning. Up Norberg.
Number 10, Miami first baseman, Reed Norberg.
Norberg, like the majority of his other counterparts, 0 for 1 on the day. In his first hack at Zabala, after struggling with his walk on his first at-bat, that is going to be a fastball high and low for a ball. There is a line shot. That'll get down as a base hit. Norberg takes a big banana peel turning off first base. Makes his way back, slaps hands with the first base coach, and we have a base runner here in the bottom of the first inning with one away. Bringing up Charlie Harrigan.
For the Red Hawks, Norberg isn't a huge threat to steal bases. He'll take off every once in a while and sneak one in, but he's 3 for 4 on the year.
Harrigan got a 257 on the year. This is low. 1-0 goes Bala. That ball fouled off the bat, line shot in left field. That was good. Right to the base of Hepburn Hall, one of Miami's oldest dorms. Some distinguished alumni, including visiting professor and columnist
Terrence Moore.
Terrence Moore, if you're listening to your class right now, we'd like to welcome you into Red Hawk Baseball here on Red Hawk Radio as the pitch is lined into right field. And let's see it. They will go. No, will not go first to third as that is thrown on a rope from Shepsky. And it is first and second with one away here, and the Red Hawks have something cooking. Nate Stoles making his way from the dugout to the batter's box.
This is kind of like what we saw last inning when the Red Hawks started to threaten and then had a runner thrown out, Kyle Winkler at third base on an infield grounder.
You know what that goes back to? The fundamentals.
It goes back to the fundamentals.
Base running might not be one of the big three, but it would be in the big 3.5, that's for sure. Here's Stoles. 0 for 1 on the day, 314 on the year. He has touched home plate as a base runner 12 times on the season. Struck out 4 times. Flew out. In his first at bat, gets a hack at Zabala. Zabala is the pitch count up to 20 here in the second inning of action. In Oxford, Ohio. He delivers. That ball is a strike. Like 87 miles an hour from Zabala. First and second.
And Zabala 12 strikes. Make that 13 now.
Harrigan and Norberg on second and first base, respectively. That one's fouled straight back.
So far, I mean, the senior from Dunwoody, Georgia, Zabala having a good day. You know, not giving up a lot of. He's giving up 4 hits, but getting a lot of people to ground it out. Still, he saw a really hard hit liner in the left field in his first at bat. So, Zabala coming in, getting some good work in relief of Zlock.
Pitch. Breaking ball. This thing is 45 miles an hour out there. I'm not sure about that. Maybe tack on 20 or 30. Nevertheless, the result is the same. It's a ball and 2 strikes here on the catcher, Nate Stoles, with runners on first and second. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch. That one is skied into the infield. First baseman Workington is under it. He's got it. It's 2 away, bringing up Parker Massman.
Massman's a guy who you can make an argument he was the player of the year last year for the Red Hawks, just as a freshman, a true freshman. Kind of established himself and put himself into that center field job. Looked at him locked down for the next 4 years. We're here not even a full season later, and he's struggling. 211 coming into tonight.
Now down to 208.
And he's now sitting in right field with Christian Tejada taking that center field duty.
Massman digs in, looking to get an RBI single here. That would likely score. The runner on second. There's a fastball that misses high and gets ahead 1-0.
Bennett, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Massman looks like he's changed his stance a little bit. Last year we saw him a little more bent down. Right now he's got an open stance and he's standing almost straight up.
Yeah, Massman was a big power hitter. We saw him pull a lot of hits out in the left field. Obviously, if you're going to pull a little bit more, you're going to have that close.
There's
stance.
a line shot into right field. That's going to score the base runner. There's a hard throw in. I was incorrect. Nailed at the plate. Got him by a country mile. And just like that, the Red Hawks squandered 2 base runners here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We go to the 6th with the Red Hawks down 6-0. You're listening to Red Hawk Baseball here on Red Hawk
For the
Radio.
Red Hawks,
Welcome back to Red Hawk Baseball here on Red Hawk Radio. We have a new pitcher on the mound for the Red Hawks. We have Bailey Rostecki coming in with a 16.88 ERA. This is his 4th appearance. 2.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 earned runs rather, 1 base on ball, and 2 strikeouts. Hitters are hitting .333 against him. Chris, what can you tell us about Rostecki?
Well, we talked earlier in the game about maybe a bullpen by committee today, and really we're going to see a lot of pitchers. Well, Billy Rostecki is not one we see all the time,
first to hit
so they're definitely
for
sticking to
the
that
top of the
philosophy.
6th inning,
Awesome
the catcher,
I can speak.
Indeed they are. That brings up Manastra looking to get the first hack at Rostecki. Rostecki, left-handed pitcher, will pitch from the windup. He kicks, he deals. 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball gets not over the plate for a ball. 1 ball and 0 strikes here on Manastra. Darcy in the on-deck circle for the X-Men. There is a line shot in the center field. Massman charging. He will not get there. That's a base hit for Manastra. And 2 pitches for Rostecki. Already giving up a single.
Rostecki's got a very exaggerated leg kick from that full windup.
third baseman, Cody Darcy.
Sometimes throws the hitters off, not right there. Manastra singles to center field.
Here's a 9-hitter, Darcy. Xavier coming off a series win against the Butler Bulldogs find themselves at 7-1 in the Big East. That's good for the Big East lead here. In late April, Rostecki delivers 82 miles an hour on the outside corner of the plate. That's a cross for a strike.
Well, Brady, we talked a little bit pregame about how Xavier's record might not be the best, but they've been playing some hot baseball lately. Early in that season, they just kind of faced a murderer's row of teams.
That's right. They played North Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky, Arizona State, Texas. As Rostecki delivers high and away, count evens at 1.
We're here in the cradle of coaches in Oxford. That's the cradle of baseball that they just played. Those 4 or 5 schools that we listed off.
Absolutely, and they took their hits, but now they've gotten into conference play. Teams with a little bit similar history and size to Xavier, the Catholic institution outside of the Queen City. As Darcy digs in for the 1-1, that ball is a breaking ball, 71 miles an hour.
What's interesting is Miami took the exact opposite approach in their non-conference schedule. Miami had a great non-conference schedule, their best since the 1970s, but they were playing a bunch of cupcakes, for lack of a better term. Xavier, like we said, front-loaded their schedule full of stiff competition. It's paying off now in April, 7-1 in conference, and they've got a 6-0 lead right now.
Rostecki missing again inside. The count goes to 3-1 on third baseman Cody Darcy. Darcy 1 for 2.
And a really hard hit line drive in the right center field. Taco, as some people would say.
There is a liner into the left center field gap. That's going to bounce off the wall. And that's an RBI double for Cody Darcy.
And no Oppo Taco, no Taco Tuesday on that one as he just pulls that into the power alley in left center. Xavier up 7-0 now.
And then she said,
Not an aggressive move by Hayden. Put it in Volstecki again, like we said. Volstecki's ERA now up to 20.25 on the season. To put it lightly, that's not getting the job done.
In limited action, but yeah, this is a guy we don't see too often in a situation like this. It's not a bad thing to get out there and let him get some reps.
so far.
Absolutely.
It's just, like,
7-0 game. The
like, things get
game already heading towards the bottom of the 6th.
so.
As there's a breaking ball, 76 miles an hour. Misses high. Again, the score 7 for the Musketeers, 0 for the Redhawks here at the top of the 6th. 0 outs. Runner on second. 1 run already in here at the top end of the 6th inning.
Yeah,
Connor Grandma's digging in.
Miami going through all their left-handed pitchers. We saw Urbanki, the lefty, Wostecki now out there, and John Myring, the other lefty on the roster, warming up right now.
There it goes the other way. Goes Grandma's. There is a throw onto home. The base runner Darcy will be held, and it's first and third with 0 away. With Jake Shepsky coming to the plate. Shepsky, a perfect 3 for 3 on the day. Looking to deposit a Wendy's 4 for 4 here.
Swinging it well is Shepsky, and we saw him make a great play to end the last inning in the field. He threw a strike out from right field to nail what could have been Miami's first run of the ball game. Instead, the runner was out at the plate, and we sit here 7-0 in the top of the 6th inning.
Meanwhile, Volstecki delivering his 10th pitch.
Sucks. Because I think the girls wanted it better.
75 mile an hour. Hardly a heater, but gets across the inside corner. That's a strike.
Doesn't matter how you throw him as long as you get it there. Like I said, Bennett, I mean, he's a softball expert, so all he hits is eephus pitches.
He doesn't need velocity to get some dingers in the left field.
Bennett, what's your season look like? Run us through your stat line real quick.
Of what?
Softball.
In intramural?
Oh, absolutely.
How
many dingers?
I had a doubleheader last night. Didn't do too hot.
There's a foul ball down the left field line.
First game, I think I went 1 for 4. First time I went 3 for 4 in the second.
Stecky
Yeah.
up 0-2.
No, I just feel bad. I'll
Scores on the softball field.
I'll stop talking about intramural softball and go to Miami softball at 26-14, top of the Mid-American Conference.
Hey now.
Doing really well. Have a series this weekend, 3-game series at Ohio.
And Shepsky out on strikes as Wostecki pulls the string on him again. Not throwing a ton of heat, but got the job done there. It's his first out of the inning. Bringing up Aubrey Major.
And then not only do we have Miami baseball and Miami softball in first place in the Mid-American Conference, but also Miami tennis.
Hey now.
Yep, puts in the MAC championship.
Big
I
time.
didn't want to say that, but yeah.
It's a good time to be a Red Hawk.
Spring sports doing rather well here in Oxford.
Absolutely. Aubrey Major on the year. 4 homers, 20 runs batted in. Aubrey Major is an impressive specimen. I have the numbers in front of me, but I gotta say he's legit 6'6". Towering humanity. As that ball misses outside. Can't even one.
Yeah, Major 6'5", 200. Listed him.
Exaggerated a little bit,
What you'd expect from a cleanup hitter.
honestly. Not a lot of meat on those things. Someone tell me if he got a hold of one, he'd put that one. President Hall out in left field.
Is Coach going to try to help me?
And that one's going to go the other way. That will fall. Fair. That's going to score at least 1. Yes, only 1. Major makes his way to second base, and the score now goes 8-0 in favor of the Musketeers. It is officially a hit parade. That is their 16th hit. Bringing up Matt Workington, who looks to pad his numbers now for the Redhawks. It is damage control on the other side. Xavier Musketeers are trying to pad their stats. No doubt about it.
Major in that last at-bat looking like he was hitting a big cut in golf.
Absolutely.
That ball getting a lot of spin, taking a huge right hop. Just going from in play, then taking a big hop to the right, going in foul territory, but a very effective hit at that.
Right on the fairway.
I bet Aubrey has a good short game, too. That was a 69-mile-an-hour curveball. Misses for a ball.
Kind of made it a point to I told her I'd be nice.
All right, good to see you, Coach.
Wasecki still struggling. 15 pitches in, giving up 2 runs. Still not out of the woods. Runners on second and third, and only 1 away. Something tells me he might be fending for himself on this. I doubt Coach Hayden would be likely to burn through any more pitchers on what appears to be a lost day. 2-0 to Matt Workington. Workington 2 for 3 on the day, hitting .282 on the season. Wasecki from the stretch delivers a 75-mile-an-hour breaking ball foul down the left field line.
Get Andy Almquist charging down, trying to get the foul ball. Scooted out of the Miami dugout.
Typically, he's one of the back end of the bullpen type of guys for Miami. You probably won't use him in 8-0 ball games, so he's having his night, having a good night.
Talking the 40 time for sure.
Right.
Big time. That ball is hit into the seats off the right field side, and there's a brawl going on there between 2 7-year-olds. Wow.
This is so
Good
going on.
form. And yeah, they're still battling over it.
Oh.
Quite frankly, that's been the most exciting thing we've seen out of Miami today. 2-2 count to Workington.
Never changed, Brady Pfister, never changed.
Don't you worry about that, my friend. Don't you worry about that. Here's Wasecki delivering once again. Struggling to get anyone out. The pitch. That's going to be fouled again down the third base line. On a beautiful day here in Oxford, Ohio, the Boy Scout in me senses that there's roadkill because there are 4 vultures circling out in center field. They better stick around because the Red Hawks are going to be roadkill here before too long. 2-2 to Workington. Put together quite the at-bat. The pitch, that's going to be sliced. And no one is going to be out. The third baseman, Stevens, tried to tag out Aubrey Major, missed, threw on to first to get out Workington. Also not in time. So just about as bad as it could go there. Run scores, no outs. Still 1 out, runner on first and third. 9-0 now with Chris Given coming to the plate.
Stevens down there at third base made an awkward stretch of a tag attempt, kind of reached across his body and behind him. Didn't work out in that type of situation. You really want to get in front of the runner and make sure he has nowhere to go. Instead, Aubrey Major just kind of put a little move on, avoided the tag, and all runners are safe.
Wasecki delivers his 22nd pitch. That one's pulled hard in the left field. That is going to be caught by Winkler. The throw in, not nearly in time. And that is going to be a sacrifice fly, scoring Aubrey Major to make it 10-0 in favor of the Musketeers. They have hit double digits.
If you're the Musketeers, this is another tune-up game. We've talked about their in-conference success they've had so far. Well, this is an out-of-conference game, but it doesn't mean they can't prepare for their grueling Big East schedule coming up.
It has been a great success, I would say. As Coach Hayden makes his way out to the plate. Wasecki's day appears to be done, and for good merit. He has really struggled today.
And it's going to be John Myrie.
Out comes Myrie. Wasecki will take an early shower.
Firing another lefty out of that Miami bullpen. We've seen all of them now, have we not, Ben?
Yeah, just about. Stobert, Urbanski, Wasecki, and now Myrie. I mean, Myrie was the only lefty on the roster all last year.
Myrie, 4.50 ERA on the year, 1-1 with 8 appearances. 10-inning pitch.
On the mound in relief for the Red Hawks,
Myring,
the seventh
senior from
number
Council
7,
Bluffs, Iowa.
John
Transferred
Myring.
here before the season last year from Iowa Western Community College. Number 7.
Myron's got good stuff. He'll run that fastball up to about 90 miles per hour, and then he'll hit you with the hard breaking ball. Looks to me like a slider down in the zone. It's about 10 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
We'll have a lefty on lefty matchup with Hausinger coming up here. Second baseman for the boys from Norwood.
The lefty on lefty matchup is something that's not going away in baseball, but we're seeing a little bit less of it. Managers tending to play, less of the lefty righty or righty lefty matchups, and instead going with percentages. So they're just putting the best pitcher out there on the mound. We'll see, guys like Marcelo Iglesias of the Reds, or Josh Eder from the Brewers pitch multiple innings late in ball games, key situations. It doesn't matter whether they're facing right-handers or left-handers. If you can get outs, you're out there. Myring, if you're Danny Hayden, you probably want him to go in at least an inning or two, so he'll obviously face some right-handers at some point. Mop-up duty at this point.
As country music plays in the background here in Oxford, Ohio. Great American flag flying in center field. Great American nation, great American institution. If I do say so myself, as Myring stares homeward bound towards Stoles. The pitch that is fouled hard. The first or third base dugout, rather. The pitcher Myring goes up 0-1 quickly on Hausinger. 2 away here in the top half of the 6th inning. The pitch, breaking ball, fastball, rather. Outside corner, 89 miles an hour. That gets over for a strike. As Myring quickly goes up 0-2 on the second baseman, Jack Hausinger. Hausinger leans back, waits. That misses inside. Myring wasting no time, working quickly, getting the ball, collecting himself, and delivering in this manner. About 10 seconds as he collects himself. Looks in, takes a deep breath, and the pitch kicks, deals. Is fouled off of the knee of Hausinger. He's got some thick skin, though. He'll step back in to take the 1-2 once again for Myring.
Myring on the only ball of the at-bat so far. We saw him try to come inside and kind of paint the corner with the breaking ball. Didn't happen, but he's at a 1-2 count here. I'd like to see him go back to it.
The pitch from Myring. Breaking ball on the outside corner, that misses. Down and away. Count evens at 2. Does the vulture still fly out there in center field? You thinking it's a raccoon? Skunk? Maybe even a possum?
Well, you said before it might be the Red Hawks.
Well, I think it's a little bit more than might at this point. It's 10-0 at the top of the 6th, and they're out of the woods yet. That misses high. We go full count to Hausinger versus Myring. Myring taking his first batter of the day here in mop-up duty, like Chris said. The pitch. That is a fastball that misses away. And he walked him. Brings up Franzoni. Franzoni has had himself a good couple weeks. Found himself on the Big East Weekly Honor Roll last week. He's 1 for 3 today. On the season is hitting a .289 average, 6 home runs, 22 runners smacked in.
It was just the first walk by either bullpen today.
That's surprising.
That's incredible with the amount of pitchers we've seen come out of each bullpen.
There's a fly ball in the right field. And that one is drifting back, and that one is going to get out for Luke Franzoni, as that one did not look to be hit that hard off the bat, but it kept drifting. You got to think it got caught up in the wind. And that's a 3-run shot for Franzoni, his 7th of the year, the 37th for Xavier.
could almost see the outward thought process from Charlie Harrigan. He watched that ball go up, didn't really move towards the wall with any sense of urgency, and he's hesitating. Now he starts going back a little bit, hesitates some more, and finally he gets to the wall and realizes, oh crap, I'm out of room.
That fooled me. I thought that was going to be an easy flyout to end the inning. Rather, it's the 17th hit of the day for the Musketeers. Myron gives up the home run and misses badly with the 76-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
A 15-mile-an-hour breeze moving from left to right field, so that obviously, or I didn't say obviously, but probably helped it a little bit.
It seemed to. That was not a very well hit ball. I think the power that Franzoni showed in that one is lined to the shortstop off the one hop throw on to first, scooped up by Norberg, and that'll do it. But the damage done. There were now 17 hits by the Musketeers. They get 7 across at the top of the 6th, and we go to the bottom of the 6th with the Musketeers taking a 13-0 lead here on the Miami Redhawks.
And if I'm Xavier at this point, I don't really worry about who's on the mound too much. Maybe you get a guy in there who doesn't get a lot of action, you know, needs a quick tune-up, but I think I'd be okay getting guys in action and even giving up a couple of runs. So they can stay out there and work through things. They've got not even a nice cushion at this point. It's a very nice cushion.
It is very nice.
13-0.
Xavier getting fortunate enough to bat through their entire lineup. The Astro got his second at bat in the top of the 6th.
So we're going to see a new pitcher from Xavier. It's going to be Trey Schramm, senior right-hander.
That's all going. 2 innings, even up 5 hits, no walks, no strikeouts, no runs.
He did a great job tonight, but we can say that about all the Xavier pitchers. Every once in a while they'd run into a little trouble here, a little trouble there, but they've been able to work out of it. And Miami hasn't been able to scratch a run across. Only 5 hits on the day, and like Bennett mentioned earlier, only 1 walk in this ballgame. It was by a Red Hawk reliever rather than
Schramm on the year, 7.59 ERA. If that means anything. It hasn't for the Red Hawks all year. They're facing a guy who started off with 6.81 ERA. Didn't matter a lick. They couldn't get on base against him. Now, boys, at what point do Red Hawk fans and maybe even Red Hawks in the dugout start to get worried? They started off hot, historically hot, and now after a series loss to Ball State, their second in 2 years, now taking a shellacking from Xavier, they start to get worried for losing a mojo?
You know what? I think for now they're absolutely okay. Like we said, they're dealing with the injury bug a little bit tonight in some odd circumstances. It's got a conference game. I think that if they come back, I think this next series is going to be a critical one coming up at home against NIU.
Sure.
Starting on Friday afternoon, we'll have all of that here on Red Hawk Radio. But I think that is going to be a key series of, maybe getting right for the Red Hawks. I wouldn't say it's time to worry yet, but this is not the time to start playing bad baseball either.
Winkler lifts a first pitch breaking ball to the right fielder. Shepsky's under it. 1 pitch and 1 out for Trey Schramm. That'll bring up Colin Shepard, who's over to
Shortstop Colin Shepard.
We've seen him adjust a little bit in the field. He's over at shortstop, aside from his normal second base position. So there's been a little bit of a learning curve tonight. He misplayed a ball on an infield single that he tried to barehand early on in the game, and then has had some trouble throwing to first base.
Pitch swinging again. Shepard hits that one off the end of his bat, grounded to the second baseman. Hausinger. On to Warkentin, and 2 pitches and 2 outs for Schramm as Landon Stevens routes all the way up to home plate with Old Town Roads. Boys, what do you take on this musical masterpiece?
I think all we're hearing is that Billy Ray Cyrus has the horses in the back, and I'm not going to question that because he seems like the type of guy who would.
Absolutely. Can't argue that. Not first pitch swing is Stevens. That was misses high, and I have to agree. Billy Ray Cyrus version of that song. It's a classic, an instant classic. Gets you feeling in a good mood as Schramm looks in for the 0-1. That one is lifted high into left field. Majors under it. And 4 pitches, 3 outs for Schramm. We go to the 7th inning with the Red Hawks trailing 13-0. You are listening to Red Hawk Baseball here on Red Hawk Radio.
Cody Darcy.
Welcome back to Oxford, Ohio here. Listening to Red Hawk Baseball and Red Hawk Radio. We're going to kick it over to my good friend Chris Vinel, who will have the play-by-play from now until the end of this ballgame. Chris.
Thank you, partner. We have Cody Darcy at plate. John Meyering still on the mound, entering his 2nd inning of work for the Red Hawks. Xavier currently leading 13-0 here in Oxford. Sun is still out, but it is slowly fading away. A little overcast coming in as the first pitch there is a called strike on the outside corner, 88-mile-an-hour fastball on the gun.
Yeah, it is starting to get a little bit breezy, I might say. These flip-flops looking to be a ill-prepared decision.
Brady's dressed like he's going to the beach as that one gets away from Meyering, a breaking ball that's up and out of the zone. Even gets away from the catcher Stoles as the count moves to 1-1.
Going to the beach is one of my hobbies, along with ping pong.
Brady, Darcy swings through that one for strike 2. 1-2 the count now on Cody Darcy. He's been at third base down at the hot corner today, and he's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Scored a run as well. Meyering looking in for the sign. He gets set and delivers. That one got away from him again. 91 on the gun that time. Dialing it up there, adding an extra few miles an hour with 2 strikes. But it's outside of the zone. Count evens at 2-2. Both batter and pitcher working quickly. Both are set again. Here is the 2-2. That one is just missing off the outside corner. 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball. He tried to start that outside the zone and bring it back in. No plate umpire says no cigar as we move full.
Another lefty. Sorry, we actually forgot about a lefty in the bullpen.
This is still Meyering.
Darcy trots on down to first base after taking a pitch off the outside corner for ball 4. We'll turn the lineup over as Cody Gramis coming to, or Connor Gramis, excuse me, coming to the plate.
Yeah, Alex Zielinski up in the bullpen.
Gramis scored the first run of the game, which seems like an eternity ago as the Musketeers have run across 13. Runner down at first base as Meyering delivers his first pitch to Gramis. It's in there for an 89-mile-an-hour fastball strike. Only the second walk we've seen today for either team, both of them issued by Red Hawk relievers. Meyering gets set and delivers the 0-1. High heater 93 on the gun. He just blows that right by Gramis.
It's got to be
quickly
the
down
fastest
0-2.
pitch that we've seen all day, boys.
That is, he reached back and added a little extra on that one. You like mustard on your hot dog, boys?
Big fan of mustard on
Yeah,
hot
that's what he
dog.
put on there.
Only mustard on hot dogs.
You got to get some Skyline chili.
Myron
cheese
goes
on that.
upstairs
Oh.
with the fastball again. It's a little too high, 89 miles an hour, 1-2 the count now.
And if you start talking about Skyline in a ill-tempered manner, I'm going
Holy
to press the
cow.
mute button on you and not let go.
Brady Pfister and I are dedicated. Probably the most dedicated Skyline and Cincinnati fans you'll find around.
Absolutely.
So Bennett Wise, the Virginia,
It would
isn't
not
really
be
into
wise
that.
of you to talk bad
It would
about
not
us.
be wise for Bennett Wise to speak
Represent.
illy of Skyline. As
Absolutely.
Myron readies for the 1-2. Here's the pitch. That one is found right into the Musketeers dugout.
Someone almost took that right to the gut.
Looks like it
Good
didn't
Lord.
get anyone as it was deflected by the screen in front, but
Like clip somebody on the hand having their arms over the railing.
I know, what a
you want to
relief.
talk about hot soup like we discussed earlier in this game. That's about, as hot as you're going to make that soup.
That's
Hot
bacon
tub
grease
of
right
soup.
there.
That's bacon grease. Here's the 1-2 from Myring. We'll do it again. This one is grounded towards the third base side. Stevens will
Play
pick it
ball.
up and fire to second. There's one out. The second throw towards first is not in time.
That's
Redhawks will get one on the play.
That's what you like to see out there. The second baseman, Stevens, helping the runner out. Good sportsmanship. That's what you like to see right there, boys.
We got the old Stevens to Stevens play as Jordan at third threw it to Landon at second. Landon's throw was not in time to first base, though. As the Redhawks get their first out in the inning. Still a runner on first. Ramez will settle in down there. We're now going to see a pinch hitter. It's going to be Andrew Sexton, the junior outfielder. He's a left-handed batter. First pitch to him is a fastball away off the outside corner. Myron looking in, lefty versus lefty matchup. He kicks in, delivers the 1-0. No cigar once again as he tried to go inside with the breaking ball. Went too far inside. He's quickly behind the pinch hitter, Andrew Sexton. Sexton coming in for Shepsky, the right fielder, who had himself a great day as the first strike of the at-bat is thrown in there by Myring. Fastball on the outside corner. Shepsky went 3 for 4 with an RBI, scored 2 runs, and made a spectacular play out there in right field, gunning down what should have been Miami's first and only run of the ballgame. That one is spoiled, backing out a play behind home plate over the netting by Sexton. Count evens at 2-2. Looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter on deck. It's going to be Ryan Fournier, the senior.
I don't know how that ball, there's a foul ball made its way from the Xavier bullpen to the second baseman, Stevens. Talk about one getting away from you.
That would be like if they put me out on the mound right about now, I'd be throwing him in the dugout. You ever seen Mark Mallory's first pitch?
Oh my gosh, I was there. The 07 opening day.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that as a Reds fan, as Myring throws one in the dirt to chalk the count full.
Better than some of the other starters the Reds have had lately. I'll take him over Sour Romano.
Well, we've got guys like Luis Castillo, who is just dealing at the moment. Actually, the whole staff has been
Potent.
potent at the moment.
I would say so.
And he is rung up. Andrew Sexton is set down on strikes.
Sit down, Sexton.
Outside corner, fastball, and he just painted the black with that one, did Myring. Fournier will come up now. He's a right-handed batter.
Coach O'Connor emptying the bench, giving everybody a shot.
He'll go out there for Aubrey Major. Major, another guy who had a big day. It seems like all these Musketeers are having big days, especially at the top of the order. Major went 2 for 4 with 2 runs as well and knocked in a run. His day is done.
Aubrey Major's a big dude. I'm still not over that.
You a little intimidated there, Brady Pfister?
I'm not intimidated, but gee whiz.
Brady was a high school football player, so he's seen some big dudes, but if he's impressed, I'm impressed. As Fournier sees the first pitch to him go a little too low. Myring becoming a little more deliberate here in this inning, working a little bit slower. I don't know if there's anything behind that as he looks in for the sign, gets set, checks the runner at first base, and will deliver home. That was the fastball just a little too far in. Took a little bit off that one. 83 on the gun. She would have the count. Fournier spoils this one off towards the right side and into the parking lot.
Send it for your Mustang, Chris.
I don't want to hear about that.
That's right, because I need a ride home.
2-1, the count now to Ryan Fournier. Fournier, 25 at-bats on the year. He has 3 hits, 2 knocked in, and has walked 6 times. However, with only 3 hits, he has 8 strikeouts, so he is prone to free swing. He takes a 90-mile-an-hour fastball too high on that one. 3-1 the count now. Good hitters count for Fournier. He's got a runner on first base.
I think the catcher stole his stuff. That was a strike with the umpire. Said not.
No, sir, as this one is lined into center field. Massman has to come in, and he makes a diving catch. He misjudged that one, but comes in and recovers just quick enough to make a diving catch at the end of the inning.
That was a heck of a play by Massman. Got on his horse after taking a false step.
We talked before the inning about how having the horses in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Massman got on his horse for that
He
one.
got on his stallion, let me tell you.
That means it is time for the 7th strap. So, as always, we're going to use the
A new pitcher from the Musketeers. Like we said, pop-up work here. We're going to see a freshman, Brady.
Come on, let's hear it.
Right-handed pitcher who also plays the outfield, so he can hit a little bit.
Xavier's version of Shoni Otani.
We've got a couple of those guys at the ballpark today. Aubrey Major, one of them. We saw him last year in the Nuxall Classic start a game and then finish it out in the outfield.
That's an impressive feat. You know, the Reds got a guy like that with Michael Lorenzen, but I was in Anaheim last summer. And Mr. Otani took the plate. You know, the fans came out of the woodworking. Snapped pictures of. He's a cultural figure, you know, especially in his home country. He's a big deal.
But there's just an aura and an excitement about those guys. You know, once you get to the high school level these days, they kind of separate you and force you to specialize into one position. When you have guys who sneak through the cracks like that and excel in multiple ways, you know, it almost throws you back to your Little League days, or in Bennett's case, his softball days.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
What a baby. I don't know about you boys, but I have appreciated the country music being played between NC and outfield.
Defensive changes for the Musketeers. In at center
Nothing like watching
field,
baseball.
Andrew Sexton out from the end, second.
We said that flag is moving. The wind blowing at a pretty constant rate out towards right center field. They already have an impact today. It's a home run ball that looked like it, you know, should have been a typical pop-up to the right fielder that got over the fence. Franzoni hit that one.
21, Luke Stevenson.
I care for some stuff.
And on the mound,
Get me started.
it is number 14, Luke.
You want in, Bennett?
Fast.
Oh, come on now. It's not for the weak, like I always say.
Burger night.
Ooh, really? At the house. Burger night at the Sammy house, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Number 6, Jordan
Stevens new batter now. A couple of changes out for the Musketeers. Stevens fouls that one back into the netting on the first pitch he sees from Flam. Fournier took over. He's now in left field, replacing Aubrey Major after he pinch hit. Sexton is in center, and the previous center fielder, Franzoni, has moved from center to right. Flam gets set, and he'll deliver the pitch. Breaking ball, he slowed it down to 75 there, and just a little high. That one is off the outside corner, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from Flam. A little too wild, the freshman. Looks like he's got good stuff. 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball as he throws it in there at 87 that time. Too high again. We saw a pretty decent breaking ball with a lot of movement just off the plate as well earlier in this at-bat. Looks like he can't control it as well as he would like. 3-1 the count now to Jordan Stevens. Stevens held hitless like many of the Red Hawks today. He'll pop this one foul and out of play, moving the count full at 3-2.
Yeah, this is honestly, it's a very uncharacteristic day for Miami. You know, coming in hitting 309 as a team. You know, fantastic on base percentage, first in the MAC with 420, and first in slugging percentage at 459. It's just
Stevens takes one off the helmet.
Right off the dome piece.
A 92-mile-an-hour fastball hits him in the head, and he looks to be all right as he'll walk down to first base. He's going to get checked on by the trainer and the first base coach, Justin Dedman. Just takes a slow walk down to first. Helmet is off. As he puts it back on, it looks like he might stay in this ball game, but in a day like today, a day and age like today, concussions are
You don't
always
mess
a
around
worry.
with that.
You don't mess around with that.
And if anything, that's just another injury to this roster. That's, I mean,
It's the last thing they need right
Yeah.
now, boys.
And we don't
saying
like to see this as Hayden, the head coach, comes all the way from the third base line. He'll go over to first now. Jordan Stevens takes a little walk behind first base, and he will be checked out by the trainer. You know, asking him what's his name, what's his birthday, that type of thing. Where's he at?
Well, to answer your question, I'm Brady Pfister. My birthday's April 4th, and I'm watching a baseball game.
I don't think I'd have any of those answers if I took a 92-mile-an-hour fastball to the head.
Guess it means I don't have a concussion. Thank the Lord.
You know, we have one of our good buddies, Josh Supe, is recently recovering from a concussion, his fourth.
Good old Supes. He's had a heck of a time with his dome. He's had a heck of a time. Good dude, solid dude.
He's got a heck of a time in life, let me tell you.
Just the cream of the crop right there, Josh Supes. Just the cream of the crop.
In the bottom of the seventh inning, and it looks like Jordan Stevens will stay in this game. He's crouched down at first base, but will put his helmet back on. Trainer will retreat to the dugout, and Hayden will jog back over behind third base.
that's why you see also a lot of batting helmets and maybe electing to make all their players have that. It's that cheek protector that covers the flap. Yeah, it comes to the front side of the mouth. Protects you if you do get knocked in the cranium.
We've got a pinch hitter now for Cal Elvers. We're going to see Cole Andrews replace him as the designated hitter. He's a freshman who will ground this one in between the shortstop and the third baseman. That's a base hit. Stevens on the second. And Cole Andrews, fresh off the bench, comes in and delivers the sixth hit of the afternoon for Miami.
That was very nice.
Andrews hitting .315 on the year. That average would go up just a point or two. He's had a really solid freshman year. It seems like he's almost the 2019 version of Parker Massman, who we talked about his freshman success and following sophomore struggles earlier in the broadcast.
Freshman, great success, I would say.
Reed Norberg, the batter now, he's at first base today and has a hit in the ball game. First pitch to him is a called strike fastball on the inside corner. He'll step out of the box. I don't know if he necessarily liked that call, as he'll adjust the batting gloves, adjust the helmet, and will step back in. Lamb ready to go on the mound. Norberg waves the bat a couple of times. He'll get set. Here is the 0-1. That one is roped into left field. And it is not going to get down as the left fielder, Fournier, makes a diving catch out there. Not as impressive as Massman's, as he had less ground to cover. However, impressive nonetheless to retire Norberg.
Not really important now that it's 13-0, but you'd like to think that if that one of those line drives would have fallen earlier in the game, the mojo of the Red Hawks would have been improved significantly.
And it seems like that mojo is lacking. Very sluggish today from the Red Hawks. 13-0 here in the bottom of the seventh as Charlie Harrigan steps in and swings and misses on the first pitch he sees. 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Flam.
Flam, freshman from New Richmond High School on the east side of Cincinnati, right off the banks of the Ohio River, weighing in at 165, 5'10". Had an impressive high school career. Two-sport athlete.
Flam sets in, delivers the 0-1. This one is fouled off the foot of Harrigan. He'll quickly move to 0-2 with one out here in the bottom of the seventh. Slowly creeping in from the third base side here. And also starts to retreat. Harrigan one hit on the day. It's 2 official at bats. He stands like a statue. He stands very still as that one is just low. They're actually going to appeal to the third base umpire as Harrigan checked his swing. Umpire says he did not go around, and Harrigan gets a second chance at life here with the first ball at the at-bat. 1-2 the count now. It's a big bender on the last pitch, only 70 miles an hour. We might see the same thing here with a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch from Flam. He actually went with the heater upstairs, didn't get Harrigan to chase. 2-2 the count now.
That was kind of a cool play by Stevenson, the catcher. Deflected off his glove. Ozzie was springing up. Deflected off his chest pad, still caught it with his glove.
Some serious coordination there, especially at 89 mile an hour. Heater.
Harrigan somehow held up on a fastball beneath the zone. There's a little bit of a confusion between the umpires, and now he finally gets called out on the appeal. It took a second. Harrigan knew he was out after swinging almost completely through, but tried to hold back. He kind of just stepped out of the box and started walking towards first base for some reason. Home plate umpire was indecisive, so he checked down to the third base umpire. Who said he's out. Second Red Hawks sets down in this inning. We see Nate Stoles coming to the plate now, the catcher. He's 0 for 2 on the day, still looking for his first hit. And that first hit would probably score one. It's Jordan Stevens. The speedy Miami third baseman is at second base. The first pitch Stoles sees is off the outside corner, a 78 mile an hour breaking ball. Jordan Stevens, only 4 for 8 on the year in stolen bases, but we've seen him in the field. He covers a lot of ground and can run. The 1-0 pitch is spoiled off to the right side and towards that parking lot again.
It's the Mustang, baby.
At least that's where I left it as the count moves to 1-1.
Boys, do I do it? Do I do a third brat?
You know what? You've had a successful night. It's your first Red Hawk Radio broadcast. Shout out to Brady Pfister for joining the typical crew of Chris Vinel and Bennett Wise tonight. So I believe you go for a third brat. You treat yourself, a little cheat day action. Ballpark Frank. The 1-1 is in the dirt to Stoles.
Sammy House to celebrate. I might as well. Get something up to. It's getting cold out here.
Brady Pfister is not like Bennett Wise, who Bennett doesn't even say ouch when he gets hit by a softball. But Brady's showing some
Charm and soft.
vulnerability here.
Charm and soft. That's how I was raised.
2-1 fastball is outside. 3-1 now.
Got a sidewinder warming up there.
The way this game is going, we might see him. Here's the 3-1 from Flam. That one is a perfect pitch. You can't place it any better on the inside corner right at the knees. 91 mile an hour fastball as Flam reaches back in, dials it up into the low 90s. Full count now with 2 outs.
I mean, if you're going to ask for a pitch, you're going to say right there, and that's where he put it.
Runners at first and second base. Presumably they will be moving with the pitch. For Warrington, as that ends the inning. We're going to go to the top of the 8th. When we come back, it's 13-0 Xavier on Miami. Miami baseball on Red Hawks Radio. Welcome back to Hayden Park. We're here at the top of the 8th inning. John Meyering still on the mound for the Red Hawks. He'll throw his final warm-up pitch, and we'll get started. Xavier leading 13-0 over Miami. We've lost Brady Pfister, who has made the decision to go get that third rod. In my opinion, that's a quality decision. Meyering now entering his second full inning of work. We saw him come in the 6th inning. He's pitched an inning and a third so far, giving up 1 hit, 2 runs, both of them earned, walked 2. His first pitch to Warrington is singled into left field. And the Musketeers have their leadoff runner on. Warrington first pitch swinging there, got a fastball and just lined it into left field between Stevens and the shortstop Colin Shepard. We will see Chris Givens will now be the batter. He has 2 for 3 on the day with 3 RBIs. That's tied for the team lead with Warrington, the guy standing on first base, and Franzoni, who is now playing right field after starting the day in center.
Oh boy.
First pitch to Givens is a strike. Meyering will check the runner at first base. He'll look over there and now delivers the pitch. This one is grounded towards second. Landon Stevens flips to Colin Shepard, who will throw on to first. The runner at first is safe, but the runner at second was out. Miami gets their first out of the inning, as Givens replaces Warrington down there at first.
Boys, that was a good brat. A little bit burnt.
I looked down, and that thing was all there. And then I look away for 2 seconds, and that thing is gone when I look back. Holy Toledo!
I do a 4th. Doink!
First pitch to the pinch hitter Nathan Berg is fouled off, and it hits a foul pole, behind the dugout of the Musketeers. 0-1 count for him. Berg this season, this is only his 3rd official at bat. He has walked twice, but in his 2 official at bats, he has struck out both times. Meyering delivers the second pitch of the at bat to him. It is high, an 84-mile-an-hour pitch on the gun. Up and away. 1-1 the count. Given a small lead at first base. Berg, the right-handed batter, he's set. He sees the pitch from Meyering. That one is up and inside, 82 miles an hour that time. Looks like Franzoni will stay in the game to hit for his 5th time tonight. He's on the on-deck circle.
Franzoni with another hit can get his batting average into the 300s. That's what I was saying earlier. This is a stat padding opportunity.
Absolutely, as that one is fouled towards the parking lot by Berg. 2-2 the count now. Red Hawks will looks like they will take the L tonight, but will be back in action this Friday afternoon against the Northern Illinois Huskies, as Meyering gets Berg to swing right through that one. He'll sit down for the 2nd out of the inning, and we will see Franzoni for the 5th time tonight. Average up to 298. 25 hits and 84 at-bats for Franzoni. He's looking for his 3rd one of the day, which would tie him for the team lead, at least on the afternoon. The first pitch from Meyering is in there for a called strike. 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball right down Broadway. Runner at first base, Given is barely taking a lead down there. Second pitch to Franzoni is outside, 77 on the gun. Breaking ball got away from Meyering a little bit there, and Nate Stoles had to slide out towards the left-handed hitter's batting box to corral that one. Franzoni waves the bat a couple times. He'll get set now. Meyering is set on the mound. He will deliver. That's a fastball, 89 miles an hour off the outside corner. 2-1 the count.
Franzoni's a big boy in there.
Looks like Xavier's got a bunch of those. We've already detailed Warrington and Major in their statures.
Indeed.
2-1, swings right through it, does Franzoni. That was a business hack if I've ever seen one, as he was aiming for the left field fences. Even the count at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. 13-0, Xavier still leading.
That was a hearty hack, I dare say. Swung out of his shoes on that.
Ties those puppies up and takes pitch 2, move to 3-2 now.
Murray's not had a bad outing. 2 hits, 2 earned.
Aside from Banky, he's been the best pitcher Miami's trotted out there. And that pitch ends the inning as he rings up Franzoni. 87-mile-an-hour fastball on the gun. That'll end the inning. Still 13-0 as we head towards the bottom of the 8th. Wind is still going here at Hayden Park. Temperature slowly dropping. As we head towards the bottom of the 8th, we may see another pitcher here from the Xavier Musketeers. Like we detailed several innings ago, it's kind of a mop-up day. Xavier has led 13-0 since the top of the 6th.
Looks like we got Matt Kent out there, not to be confused with Matt Kent. This is the partial left fielder for the Cincinnati Reds. Actually, buffet action going on right now.
Matt Kent is a right-hander. He's got average stuff as he throws that fastball in there about 87 miles an hour. Very deliberate with a slow windup, and then he kind of comes from the side.
It is an interesting arm angle for sure. Let's see how the Hawks handle it. You tend to find with guys like that, some of them are knuckleballers. Guys either love it or they can't stand it. So let's hope the Red Hawks love it.
They've got 2 more at-bats to get back in this thing, but it looks very unlikely as they're now sitting down 13-0. Looks like we will see a pinch hitter at some point in this inning for Kyle Winkler. McKay Williams on the on-deck circle. We have not seen him tonight, but his typical position of left field was manned by Winkler for most of the afternoon. Williams hitting 300 on the year, 30 hits and exactly 100 at-bats. He's got 2 home runs and 23 ribeyes.
Lead off, the Red Hawks at the bottom of the 8th. Number 27,
Where's your go-to steakhouse?
That's on his mind. Typically, I'm not buying steak on my own, but when we're back home on the east side of Cincinnati, there's a place called Tony's. Jeff Ruby can whip up a steak, but good old Tony, oh baby. Medium rare with some mashed potatoes, little garlic mash with those mashed potatoes.
I'm not going to argue that as Kent's first pitch to Parker Massman, the leadoff hitter for this inning in the 9-hole.
Shout out to
76 years young as Massman takes a fastball off the outside corner, way out off the outside corner. I might add. 1-1 the count now.
What about you? What's your west side staple over there?
For steak?
Yeah.
You know what? I've got to go downtown. I'm not going on the west side as that one is fouled back into the netting. 1-2.
Yeah.
Not too many steak places on the west side of Cincinnati.
No, that's true.
But it is my head.
Yeah, plenty of the roses and skylines.
We've got plenty of other stuff. You know what? If we're talking about go-to restaurants, let's talk about Price Hill Chili. Right in my backyard, essentially, near Elder High School. Shane Smith, the lone Elder alum on Miami's team, he's out tonight with an injury as that one gets Massman. He'll head on down to first base after getting plunked in the back.
That'll leave a bruise. He's going to need some creams in the center.
Yeah, that one's not very nice for that one. He heads on down to first base. McKay Williams, the hitter now.
Okay, yeah.
Lefty will come on and replace Kyle Winkler in left field.
Yep, no problem.
He will be the second batter. Matt Kent faces. Runner at first base, Parker Massman not being held on. He'll get a decent-sized lead and an even bigger secondary one as the first pitch to McKay Williams is off the outside corner. 85-mile-an-hour fastball, a little too far outside. Second hit batsman Massman was for the Red Hawks tonight, as we saw Jordan Stevens just an inning ago hitting the head. Matt Kent throws a strike in their 84-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. You're giving McKay Williams a large hole between the first and second baseman. The first baseman, Warrington, is playing right near the line. That was off the plate inside, 2-1. Williams steps out for a second, waves his bat around, will step back in, and he will face the 2-1 from Kent. The pitch. That was a fastball inside, almost got McKay Williams on the hands as the count runs to 3-1. McKay Williams really lingering outside that left-handed hitter's batter's box. Step back in there. 3-1. That would have served into center field. The center fielder Sexton ranging over. He'll take care of it going towards the left center field gap. That's out number 1 in the inning for the Red Hawks. Parker Massman retreats to first base. He'll stay there. We'll see Colin Shepard with his 4th at bat of the afternoon. Step up to the plate.
Number 1.
It's shortstop. Has not had a hit yet. Average sitting at 278 for the year. Runner going, and there will not even be a Musketeer fielder to cover that base as the throw goes behind the bag and it is stopped right before center field by the second baseman Berg.
A little bit of a collision there, Given sliding to make that grab, just flipped Berg on the ankle.
That looked like it had potential to end up in center field.
So there's now a runner in scoring position for Shepard, facing a 1-0 count as Kent missed with that previous pitch. Massman, that's his first stolen base on the year, 1 for 4 now. He's not really known for his speed. Not a plotter, but not necessarily a burner either. The 1-0 is upstairs, 84-mile-an-hour fastball to Shepard. He takes high.
Sounded nice. Nothing like a crisp fastball into the middle of a catcher. Beautiful sound.
Bennett Wise and I were actually tossing a little baseball before this game, reliving our glory days.
As you should. As you should.
Kent stands and delivers the 2-0. That one is lined in the right center field off the glove of the second baseman Berg. Massman had to hold out that second base because he didn't know if that one was going to be caught. He'll stroll into third and stay there as Shepard is into first base with his first hit of the afternoon. Landon Stevens back up now. Old Town Road is his walk-up song, as we talked about earlier. Whether or not Billy Ray Cyrus has one. Landon 1 for 3 on the day.
Man, that's a good song.
He's having about the season we expected. 160 at-bats. He has 46 hits to hit 287. First pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner. He's got 4 home runs and 29 knocked in. Coach Danny Hayden talked before the season about how he expected Landon Stevens to turn into an elite college baseball player this year. While I wouldn't necessarily call him elite, we're seeing him have a very good season. He's got 2 guys on, runners on the corners as he serves this one into right field. That'll get through and score a run. The Red Hawks are on the board as Parker Massman crosses home plate from third. The runner on first, Colin Shepard, will advance to third base, and Landon Stevens with an RBI single has put the Red Hawks on the board. 13-1, Xavier leads now.
It's big time. It's a good piece of hitting. There was really the runner on first base was being held on. They gave him on the right side of the infield, and that's just a good piece of hitting. Taking something the other way, ground ball. It's what the defense gives you. And let's see if
finally the Red Hawks get a ball to bounce their way as it's 13-1 now. Jordan Stevens, the next batter, serves one into the right center field gap. That one's running all the way to the wall, and the Red Hawks are going to run with it. 1 run scores. Here comes the second one. Landon Stevens is home, standing up. And Jordan Stevens, the cleanup hitter, is sliding into third base with no throw. A triple for the Miami third baseman. Where did this come from, guys? Where was this earlier in the ball?
where has this been? This is first triple of the year for Stevens.
It's talked earlier when Stevens was on second base last time.
Number 15, Cole.
Flipped by a pitch. We talked about his speed. He showed it off there as he hit one all the way to the wall and ran all the way to third base. Cole Andrews, the designated hitter now. He came on last inning, had a hit in his first at bat. First pitch he sees is a called strike, 86-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner from Matt Kent. Kent has been the only pitcher so far from Xavier that the Redhawks have figured out. They've jumped all over him this inning, 1 out, and the Redhawks already have 3 runs in. Runner on third as Andrews swings through the second pitch he sees, 87-mile-an-hour fastball on the gun. Andrews just couldn't reach it. Jordan Stevens with a conservative lead at third base. Infield playing back. The 0-2 to Andrews. He's off the plate away, 88-mile-an-hour fastball there. Try to get him with the hard stuff. To the count now. I'm sure Xavier would be okay with giving up another run here, especially if they trade it for an out on an infield ground ball or something like that. Here's the 1-2, and that one gets away from the catcher. Here comes Stevens, and there's going to be no throw. He'll go in standing up to Miami now. You blink your eye, and they've got 4 runs.
Heads up base running by Stevens. It hesitated almost as that pitch got away from Stevenson. Headed up towards first base in the Xavier dugout. And Speedy Stevenson able to score.
Andrews facing a 2-2 count now. Matt Kent will revert to his full windup. Here's the pitch. That one is skied into right field. Shallow and cutting towards the foul line. Right fielder will take care of it in foul territory for out number 2. Nobody on the base paths now for Miami, as they've pushed across 4 runs in this inning. 13-4 now. It was 13-0 at the start. The bottom of the 8th, where we currently reside. Reed Norberg now the batter. This will be his 4th at bat of the game. He's got 1 hit. Average still well up over 300 on the year. The first pitch he sees from Matt Kemp. Up there, just a little bit too high. 86-mile-an-hour fastball from Kent. He readies and delivers the 1-0. He misses again. 86-mile-an-hour fastball. This one off the outside corner, around the knees. Norberg takes a hearty cut at that one and swings right through it. Got another fastball in the high 80s.
Big boy swing right there.
Looking to push Miami 1 run closer with that swing. He was aiming for the scoreboard. And this time he'll put a charge into this one. Deep center field. Sexton going back. He'll take care of it right on the edge of the warning track and will push up against the wall for the 3rd out. So Norberg threatens to put the 5th Miami run on the board. Anyway, they scratch across 4. It's now 13-4 as we head to the final inning. We'll be right back with the top of the 9th on Red Hawk Radio. Back for the final inning here in Oxford, 13-4. Xavier leads Miami, and we have a new pitcher, Alex Zielinski, the lefty, will handle the final inning for the Red Hawks. Bennett, what can you tell us about Zielinski?
Well, so far, this is just his second appearance on the year. Only threw 1 full inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. No runs, only giving up 1 hit as well. As a senior from Brighton, Michigan, started the first 3 years of his career for Chuck Martin on the football team.
Wow.
Now in his senior season, switching over to baseball in Danny Hayden's ball club.
From the tight end to the mound here for Zielinski. The first pitch he throws is a little bit too far inside, ball 1.
It's a crowded tight end room down there at the Athletic Performance Center between guys in the past couple years. Ryan Smith, who of course got an invite to the Green Bay Packers. Nate Becker, strongest guy on the team, and now Andrew Homer from Cincinnati St. Xavier, looking to take over the role this coming year.
Zielinski adds to that, or at least added to that before this year. He plunks the batter
Back to foot.
Stevenson in the back foot.
16, Cody Darcy.
Zielinski also has family ties to Miami other than himself. His sister went here and played volleyball. Ready on the mound and fire. That one's in there for a college strike, a fastball at 85 miles an hour.
That ball had some movement to it. Looks like it was,
Nice two-seamer there.
yeah, cut in on the hands of the right-handed hitting Darcy. As did that one. Good Lord Almighty, that's
That one
nice.
he started that off the plate inside and cut it right back over the plate on the inside corner for strike 2. Batter Darcy quickly finds himself down in an 0-2 hole. Runner on first base, a small lead. That is Stevenson, the catcher. As Zielinski's pitch, almost in the dirt there. 85-mile-an-hour fastball. First ball we've seen in this at-bat. Zielinski sets and fires. This one is a tapper towards third. Stevens keeps it in fair ground. He'll throw into first, and Reed Norberg tags the runner out at first base. Norberg had to come off the base to retrieve Stevens' throw. Doesn't matter for the Red Hawks as they get the out anyway. Norberg slaps the tag on the runner, Darcy.
Smart play by Stevens there. Obviously, when you're ground ball with the runner on first, your first reaction is trying to get a double play ball. That was slowly hit from third base. There was really no shot at a double play there. And heads up baseball play to throw on to Norberg.
So to tapper towards first base, Norberg will throw on to Zielinski for the out. And there's quickly 2 away.
Number 14, Vinel.
As time has gone on, gentlemen, the more I've gone to regret wearing these flip-flops. There's no longer tropical weather here in Oxford, Ohio. No longer tropical weather.
Still a beautiful day, as any day is for baseball.
That's right.
As Sexton steps in, the center fielder who pinch hit in his load at bat. Did not have a hit as he lines this one towards the shortstop, Colin Shepard, who takes care of it to end the inning. So now we're down to Miami's final at-bat in this 13-4 slugfest. Miami not able to do anything for the first 7 innings of this ball game. Quickly put up 4 in their last frame.
So the 4 Vultures continue to circle.
Miami's almost finished here. Xavier got it started quickly. They put up 2 in the first before taking on 4 in the third inning. And the big inning of the day, the 6th. They put up 7 runs in that frame.
Oof.
Miami only scored in that 8th inning 4 runs. On the day, Xavier 13 runs, 18 hits, no errors. Miami 4 runs, 9 hits, 0 errors as well. We are going to see, presumably, the final pitcher of the day. Xavier going to throw Marco Boricic out there. He's a lefty. A senior wearing number 39. He will try to finish the day off for the Musketeers.
Boricic Coming into the game with a 933 earned run average, 0-1 record. Appeared in 8 games and has pitched in 18.1 innings. Given up 20 hits, 19 runs, and all 19 of those have indeed been earned.
Boursich will finish up his warm-up tosses and play the final frame of baseball. Charlie Harrigan, presumably. Harrigan. It's going to take a miracle here in Oxford. Charlie Harrigan, the 7-hole hitter, will lead things off. We'll see Nate Stoll's bat next. He is on the on-deck circle. And Parker Massman will probably finish it off. Harrigan 1-for-3 on the day. He struck out twice. The first pitch he sees from Boursich is fouled off his foot. Harrigan wears one of those protective screens on his ankle, on his right ankle, but I think that ball hits somewhere else besides where that area is covered. Second pitch he sees is in there for a called strike, 87-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. Harrigan quickly in an 0-2 hole, looking to avoid his 3rd strikeout of the night.
Tough go for Harrigan today.
Lefty-lefty matchup that we have here gives him a whole bunch of problems as he takes a half swing, confused look at that one for strike 3.
He was tied up on that, let me tell you. Tied up. Knocks down to their final 2 outs.
29, catcher Nate Stoll.
Stoll is one of the lone Redhawks held without a hit today, as they picked it up here in the last inning or 2. McKay Williams and Cal Elvers, the other 2 without base knocks. First pitch to Stoll is outside of the zone.
I mean, he has been able to collect 9 hits on the day. Not a whole clip. Not been able to convert a lot of those to runs, though, however. Those frames early in the game, you would have liked to convert some of those base runners to base runners crossing home plate.
And that's exactly what Hayden talked about in his press conference this morning, his weekly press conference. He talked about how his team got off to a couple of slow starts when they hosted Ball State this weekend. And the problem lingered into today, and it's resulted in a 13-4 Xavier lead. Stoll's stepping in with a 3-0 count now from Boursich. He'll throw a fastball in there. That's just a get-me-over 85-mile-an-hour fastball. Strike 1 on Stoll's. 1 out here in the inning. This fastball is clubbed into left center field. Left fielder Fournier will range over and take care of it for out number 2. And Parker Massman is going to be sent down here. It's actually going to be Cole Neubauer, a freshman, right-handed hitter. Massman stayed on the on-deck circle for that entire at-bat by Stoll. It was pulled at the last second by Danny Hayden. I guess he wanted to see what the Redhawks had doing in this inning.
This is Neubauer's first at-bat of his career.
Here we go. Cole Neubauer stepping in. Wearing number 36.
Let's see what he can
do.
do.
He sees from Boursich is outside an 86-mile-an-hour fastball off the plate. 1-0 now. This is something Neubauer will remember forever. His first college at bat. It's coming against Boursich. He'll foul this one off towards the right side and out of play. Neubauer, as soon as he hit that, took off for first.
Fortunately, no young Miami fans over in that section of the grass anymore to wrestle over it.
Not too many fans left here in Hayden Park.
Not really.
But the Redhawks are cheering on Cole Neubauer as he is in the midst of his first career at bat, facing a 1-1 count against Marco Boursich. Boursich readies and fires the 1-1. Neubauer takes up high a fastball 86-mile-an-hour as Miami's bench is getting into it a little bit, cheering on their young freshman.
I tell you what, if he gets on base in any fashion, that left side is going nuts.
Yes,
Not much to cheer for today for the Redhawks, but this would be something as Neubauer takes the pitch he thought was low. It's right at the knees, according to home plate umpire Mike Martin. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 outs, and the Redhawks are down to their final strike. Marco Borisic, he readies on the mound. He kicks and deals. Cole Neubauer looks at a 72-mile-an-hour breaking ball upstairs to chalk the count full. Pardon me.
So here you go, Cole Neubauer.
Here's your payoff pitch. First career at bat. Not high stakes, but here it is. He swings right through it and he strikes out. Swing and a miss from Cole Neubauer, and it was like that for the Redhawks all day as they fall to Xavier 13-4. The final line for Xavier: 13 runs, 18 hits, 0 errors. Miami finishes with a line of 4 runs, 9 hits, and 0 errors as well. They just kind of got rolling too late, it seemed, as Miami was unable to scratch across a run until the 8th inning. They scratched across 4 in that inning, but weren't able to keep up with the Musketeers, who got on early and often. Guys, any final thoughts from this ballgame?
I think just the start that the Redhawks got off to, obviously, this is going to count some in the middle conference. But after what happened against Ball State, you really like to think this was hopefully a fluke. I know Coach Hayden would like to think so as well. So opportunity to score and run. And like you said, this game was kind of from the start. Pitching, not a traditional starter. It's a game that was rained out early. We had lots of different factors in this game. Hopefully you can just cut your losses and move on. Who knows? You can't disregard the trend of the Miami Redhawks have been playing lately. They'd like to be able to turn it around and finish one season. Bennett, any last thoughts?
I mean, Miami still has a record of 30-10 going into what will be the last two or 3 weeks in their season, and they've had a good run so far. They're still at the top of the standings in conference play. This is a veteran group. You saw 6 juniors start in the first 6 spots in the lineup today, so. They're a team that knows what they're doing. They have a lot of experience, especially coming off what was a successful season last year. So I think this past week was just, it's the down period, right before you get back to the top. So I really don't think that this game truly means that much.
Next game we will see from the Redhawks will be right here at Hayden Park. They will be against the visiting Northern Illinois Huskies. We will have all that and, of course, more. Same crew this weekend, starting Friday night. Another game on Saturday, finishing up on Sunday. Hopefully we'll avoid the rain, something we've been unable to do for the past couple of series, but we will see then. For Brady, Pfister, and Bennett Wise, I'm Chris Vinel, signing off. 13-4, Xavier defeats Miami baseball. This is Red Hawk Radio. We will see you next time.